So a lot of people didn't know me. A lot of people really just did not know who I am, and I never really had these connections with Eritreans like that. For a long time, I felt like I was an outsider. The one time that I did go, I went in 1999. I went during the war between Eritrea and Ethiopia, and I saw the conflict that was going on, and the armies that were patrolling, and all the soldiers that were going in the trucks to the front lines. And my mother, two of her brothers were fighting on the front lines. My cousin on my dad's side, he was only 16, and he volunteered to go, so I didn't even get to meet him. But I remember the patriotism, and still things were very good in that country at the time. I remember things were very good, but a lot of things did change after that. And I learned about my uncle, who's a well-known freedom fighter, and I became quite patriotic of Eritrea in the military sense. One day I decided, I said, hey, I should do a documentary on Eritrea's military history. There wasn't many films on that topic. My views started to change where I realized, maybe I should do something more productive, incorporate Ethiopians in the film so that we can create a dialogue to achieve peace between the two nations. Because you got to understand, there was no peace at all. There was still a stalemate at the border. This was like 2016, 2017. And so I actually went to Eritrea in 2018 to film and to start that. I went with the intentions of trying to create a peaceful resolution with Ethiopia and to get our community to talk about it. And then about, maybe it was like 7 months after my trip, Dr. Abiy from Ethiopia, he made peace with Eritrea. Everything, of course, changed. And then the whole direction of what I was trying to do changed. And that's what led me to create the reunion of Flex. Doing my screenings for the film worldwide in Toronto, London, and DC, it was a great experience. And I genuinely loved having to work with all the different people. And it was a challenge in itself because, I'm dealing with different characteristics, different individuals, and having to navigate through that was certainly a challenge, but it was very fulfilling. Every time the reaction was always people were quite happy, quite satisfied to be able to come together and to have this open discussion. A lot of people felt like this really doesn't happen in our community. In London, again, I collaborated with Talk Habesha, and the atmosphere there was very easygoing. They're very chill. Our discussions were more community orientated. We even had a little party and some music after. In Washington, D.C., we're talking about the Smithsonian Institution, a capital city. This is a government city. And that, I could feel that energy when I was there. It was definitely the most intense and most organized event I had, and very politically charged. The guest speakers that we had on were very knowledgeable in the things that they were talking about, and that's when I feel that the respect for what we were doing was finally there. I feel like that's when people really started to acknowledge and notice us and be like, okay, I see what these guys are doing now.